All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna go over 5 of my key exercises to build a big back. Let's get into it. All right, so when you're trying to build a back, right, you have the traps, you have the lats, you have the erectors, you have the rhomboids and the rear delts. Now, the back is a big muscle group. You have a large amount from the posterior chain, so we gotta work it. And we gotta work on different muscles, but we also have to work different positions. So I'm gonna utilize a row variation. I'm also gonna utilize an extension. I'm gonna utilize a carry, right? And I'm also gonna go ahead and isolate the erectors with another back extension movement. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. But first one we're gonna do is a row variation. And let's go ahead, show you what I'm talking about with the seal row. All right, so most of y'all that go to the gym are only worried about the mirror muscles. And what I mean by that is the biceps, the chest, right? But for us, when you're talking about athletic performance, but also growing a balanced aesthetic body, you wanna have a strong back. You wanna have a hypertrophic build. So you wanna build up those muscles that allow you to increase the size of your back. So that's gonna be your lats, that's gonna be your traps. You also don't wanna neglect the erectors because that's gonna help with posture. So balancing out the body is one thing, then also making sure that you're strong back there. So all the sports that I've been involved in, especially from football all the way up from 8 years old to college, then when I trained MMA and was a professional fighter, I had to have a strong back. Then transitioning over into powerlifting, you're working your back with every movement, with every exercise, especially for the big 3, right? The bench, squat, and deadlift. So utilizing these exercises has definitely helped me, not just from an athletic standpoint, but also growing it aesthetically. So the first one that I'm gonna show you is a row variation, and I like this seal row bench from Ghost Strong. They hooked it up for me, obviously custom made. And the reason why I like the seal row is because one, it's a chest supported row, so I don't have to spend a huge amount of time loading my low back. We can do that from from an isolated standpoint. But I can load this up accordingly, and I can work that row variation without having to worry about, formulating a tight posture or a low back position. All right, so you can do 2 hand positions here. One is gonna be pronated, one's gonna be supinated. So hands down, palms up. We're gonna go palms down for now. And right there, what we're gonna look to do is pull the shoulder blades down and back, and then roll the elbows up, okay? So I'm rowing the bar to the bench, getting my elbows up and back and squeezing my shoulder blades together. All right, so take the bar off the pins, lock in, squeeze the glutes so everything's nice and tight. From there, I'm gonna pull my shoulder blades back and down and then roll up to the bench. Back down. Now, 2 ways you can do it. You want full range of motion, right? You can go from protraction, so shoulder blades pull down, then you can retract and then row. Or if you just wanna hold that position, again, it's a little bit tougher to do, but you're gonna go ahead and lock your lats down and then just row from there, all right? Again, if you have a little bit more coordination, a little bit more control, and you're more of a veteran in the sport or in weightlifting in general, then you can do the protraction, retraction method. If not, just go ahead, lock in, and then just roll with it. All right, here we go. Same concept. I'm gonna show you the full range where I go into protraction. I pull the shoulder blades down, then back and squeeze. All right, so here's the one where you're locking in your shoulder blades, so keeping that retraction and driving down your shoulder blades too with your lats. So here it looks like this, up. A little bit shorter of a range of motion, but you're keeping the lats on tension. All right, guys, so we did the pronated or hands down. I'm gonna go palms up or supinated grip. And this is really good when you got guys that are kyphotic or have that shoulder forward posture. What that's gonna do is allow them to pull their shoulder blades back with that palms open position. So with a lot of my fighters, I like to do this to kind of get them in the correct posture and correct that a little bit more through load, right? So again, palms up, Arms up, almost like you're gonna take it to bicep curl it. Here, right? Same thing, right? Protraction, we retract and row. This you'll feel a little bit lower in the lats. All right, guys, so if you do not have a seal row bench, there's ways that you can do it without it. So you can set up a regular bench, just make sure that it has a space underneath, and you set it up with either 2 blocks or 2 boxes, and just set it up high enough to where you can go all the way down and pull it. So a box is set up one side, you just lay over the bench, and then you can pull it from underneath. Before I had this, that's what I did, and it worked out perfectly. So there you go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is an extension version. So we're gonna be working on 1, the upper back because of the hand placement, and 2, the lower back or the lower erectors. So you're gonna set up like a regular deadlift, and then from there, you're gonna take a wider grip position. So I'm gonna take the webbing on my hands and put it right on the outside ring here, right? So for that, I'm locking in my lats, getting that snatch grip position. You're gonna work the upper back, but you're also gonna work the low back with this. So with the stiff-legged deadlifts, you're not gonna move your legs, right? So you're gonna maintain that stiffness there, and you're gonna pick it up only with the back. Again, you're locking in your hips, you're stabilizing the body. You're also gonna feel a little bit in the hamstrings, but again, we're primarily working on the back. So here it goes. Set up, lock my lats down. From there, I'm not gonna dip down or squat down like a regular snatch grip deadlift. I'm gonna keep my hips high like an RDL, and then drive up. Come back down, hips are still high. Back up, boom. Keep my back tight, so I'm pulling the bar. Another way you can do this is if you had a band, if you wanted to keep it real functional and again, keeping that cueing of the lats being tight, you can drive that band going that way so it allows you to cue pulling it into your body. So again, you wanna make sure that your lats are tight, you're pulling that bar close to you, you're not dipping the hips down, your hips are in a fixed position, and you're gonna go from the ground to the hips. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go into a back extension. I know you've probably seen this before, but a lot of people will do it wrong. So the goal when you're setting up on the back extension, right, you wanna make sure that your hips are right by the end of the pad, right? So you don't wanna go too far out to where your hips are way over, right? Because then you're gonna hit a little bit more of the hamstring and glute. You wanna get it as far up to where you're primarily only moving through that spinal region and not just, pulling with your hamstrings. There's definitely ways to do it with that. You can use the glute ham raise, but for this, if we're only isolating the back, you're obviously gonna have some isometric tension on the hamstrings, but we don't want to lengthen and contract the hamstrings. So here we go. I'm gonna come down. Now with this, I wanna keep a good posture, my chest up, and I'm gonna pull. Down. Shoulder blades are back. Guys, so as you can see, once it gets a little bit easier for you, when you can start to do 30 to 50 reps, now it's time to add load. Whether it be a band, a barbell, or dumbbells, you wanna put external load on the body, one, to help with muscle building, and also give yourself a challenge, right? So increasing the intensity with that external load. All right, so the next one we're gonna do is just a standard dumbbell shrug, but I'm gonna lean forward a little bit more so that I can get some retraction and I can go ahead and drive my shoulder blades up. So it's up and back with this one as opposed to just going straight up. All right, so I get a little bit of a forward lean, hands by my side, and retracting and pulling up. Retracting and pulling up. So again, the goal is to pull the shoulder blades together. I'm not thinking so much about shoulders to ears, but more so shoulders back and up, back and up. All right, so you're actually trying to pull your shoulders behind the ears, if you wanna put it that way. Okay, so the last one we're gonna do is more of a strongman type of movement or an exercise. And what this is gonna do is that is gonna help you with that big upper back. And that's where I can really find out an athlete, how strong they are, really by measuring out how big their upper back is and obviously the backside, the glutes, right? So if I see that, I know that I have a strong individual on my hands. So what I wanna do is I wanna utilize these farmer's carries. You can use the farmer's handles here, or if you don't have them, you can use dumbbells or kettlebells, right? So what this is gonna do is it's gonna put constant tension up here on the upper back, right? Your traps, your rhomboids, even your rear delts. And you also have to stabilize, right? So you're gonna hit the obliques, you're gonna hit your core, and you're also gonna get your grip. All right, so that's important just for overall strength in general. But for building a back, this is definitely gonna help. All right, so all you're gonna do, right, you take it, lift, and then we're walking, all right? And you can go for long trips, you can go for sprints, right? You can stop, do a circuit where you're here, hitting some shrugs, turning around, and going again. All right, guys, so that's a wrap. There goes my 5 exercises that you can do now to build a strong and big back. Right, so you have the row, you have the stiff-legged back extensions with the snatch grip position. You also have the back extension with the back extension bench. You have the shrugs with the bent over position. And then you have the good old farmer's carries with the farmer's handles, or you can use dumbbells or kettlebells. So there you have it. If you want to find out more details on my exercises, how you can implement that into a program, check out the mentorship program. It's now available, one-time fee, and you'll get access for life. Link is down below. If you just want to train one of my programs, link is also down below for fight ready, heavy hitter, ground control. I have a numerous amount of exercises and programs that are available now on the website. So check it out, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification if you already are subscribed. Hit the like button if you like this style video. I'll see you again next time. Peace.